In a moment, the Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University, Miss Elizabeth Crouch, accompanied by the academic procession, will enter the graduation hall. When the procession has arrived on stage, Advance Australia Fair will be performed, and you're invited to join in the singing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the academic procession.
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Budjingini, everyone. Good evening, and Nalawa. Welcome. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this evening. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. And so he enrolled his daughter Bulgari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired knowledge to lobby and eventually secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here this evening. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by the strict sharing laws, which meant that the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good we should expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he encountered a people whom he described as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. Now, they owned nothing but the tools they carried, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. Now, these were not primitive societies, these were ancient cultures. So there was no rich and poor, no slavery, no rents or mortgages, no armies, and no homelessness. People cooperated to collect the resources which were needed, and then they were shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands are maintained in their natural state with fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. So remember, this is not a dream or an ideal. This is normal life for us, and it has been for the longest time. And there is no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. But we're a clever people, and there is still much magic in the world, I believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good, and normally and naturally we are a happy people. I would suggest that you share your gifts with the rest of us, though, and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this, and I'm confident that together we can create a world and a future that we can be proud of, and one that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. I just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you and welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University, Ms. Elizabeth Crouch.
Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. First, I want to thank you all for coming. A graduation ceremony is an important celebration of achievement, the achievement of our graduates, and I might say also of the university. So I'm very grateful that you're all here to join us in celebrating one of life's most important milestone events. I also want to especially thank those of you who have brought children with you. It's good for them that they are here because their memories of today and of the importance of today may one day be the thing that inspires them to emulate the successes of our graduates today. And their presence is also good for us because every celebration is enhanced with the presence of children. Now, as a parent, I know that it may be difficult for little ones to stay quiet or still during the duration of our graduation ceremony. It's a big ask. I don't expect them to or want them to, and I certainly don't want you to worry if they don't. They are most welcome, and please let them run around and make as much commotion as they like. Now, the most important thing today is that our graduates have a great day. Graduates, I hope this will be a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. You deserve to take pride, great pride in your graduation. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance. You need to make many sacrifices. But that hard work has paid off, and I congratulate each of you on your achievements. And I also want to congratulate all of you who are here as guests of our graduates, because you've all done well too. The very fact that you have been invited by one of our graduates to share one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you've been an important influence in their life and in the successes that we celebrate today. But I don't want you to think that observing today's graduation is the end of your role. I have another important service for you to perform for our newest graduates, as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduates are too modest to proclaim their success, I want you to make sure you do it for them. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduates are wearing today and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Macquarie, by comparison, is very young, celebrating our 50-year jubilee in 2014. We proudly take our name from Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie, a man whose greatness and achievements were never acknowledged by his contemporaries, but only by history. We learnt at school that Macquarie was a great builder, but his greatest legacy had nothing to do with bricks and mortar. It was in the ethos he established, much to the annoyance of the British authorities, of an egalitarian society. Because it was Macquarie's insistence that in this fledgling colony there be no distinction between the free and the freed. That was the foundation of the modern Australian notion of a fair go for all. And it is that legacy that we here at Macquarie strive to maintain and honour. After our first 54 years, we now have 184,000 Macquarie graduates living in 142 countries. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university, and we are ranked in the top 2% of the world's universities. From our very beginnings, we defied traditional boundaries of academia to achieve outstanding success. We have pioneered and continue to pioneer learning and teaching approaches that challenge conventional thinking and challenge conventions and shift thinking. Our students too may play a major role in their learning and are empowered to guide what and how they learn. But we're also research pioneers. Our framework for the future, world-leading research and world-changing impact, is brought to life by renowned researchers whose bold and innovative solutions to issues of global significance are of enormous benefit to the world we live in. And that, by the way, is not an idle boast. Did you know, for example, that a significant part of the development of Wi-Fi was completed by Macquarie University engineers and scientists in conjunction with scientists from the CSIRO? What an admirable and remarkable achievement for a young university. And that research, the research that is currently underway at Macquarie, is no less significant. I'm sure you will all be aware of the very recent death of Professor Stephen Hawking, a brilliant scientist and a marvellous and inspiring man. The disease he fought almost all his life was motor neurone disease. I'm proud to say that our Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences is at the forefront. Indeed, I think it's fair to say we are the Australian leader in helping to find a cure for that dreadful disease. In our Human Sciences faculty, we have researchers working to identify for the first time key features of infant and toddler long daycare environments that influence the use of language as a tool for early learning. This important research will provide the improved quality of infant and toddler education and enhance their learning and educational outcomes. We also have researchers who are working on an innovation that will prevent shark attacks on surfers, which is a pretty handy piece of research given the recent attacks around Australia. Macquarie researchers are also working with scientists across the globe to develop synthetic yeast, revolutionising not only the biofuel sector, but also providing new options for health and pharmaceuticals. In fact, we have countless research projects underway, all of which have enormous potential to add to the world's knowledge and well-being. We are also proud of some of our new or relatively new facilities, including the Australian Hearing Hub, our library and our hospital. We are the only university in Australia which owns and operates its own hospital. But we have a lot more to do to make sure that our facilities are fit for purpose and are cutting edge. That's why when you arrived today, you may have thought for a moment that you were in a building site. The big hole in the ground outside just behind me is the site of our new central courtyard, which will house new food and beverage facilities, other social and study areas, as well as on-campus student accommodation. A little further away, our arts faculty building, one of our oldest, has been completely gutted and will be replaced by a new arts precinct, which will also include new spaces for our superb museums and galleries. So we're looking forward and we're on the move. Here at Macquarie, we have a very clear and straightforward mission. And that mission is to transform people's lives and to improve the lives not just of our own students, but also of people all around the globe by the work and achievements of our graduates and by the fruit of our research. We want Macquarie to always be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University alumni. It is now my very great pleasure to introduce today's occasional speaker, Mr. Phil Hall. Phil is a graduate of ours and recently retired after 17 years with Appen, a global leader in speech and language technology. Since joining Appen as a linguist in 2001, Phil has been at the forefront of the company's evolution and growth at both a technical and organisational level. Under his leadership, Appen's Language Resources division grew its annual revenue by more than 10,000%, delivering large programs of work with a focus on speech and language data. And they delivered that to some of the world's leading commercial and government technology organisations. Phil is has a first-class honours degree in linguistics and in 1999 was awarded the Macquarie University Medal for his research into the language of interrogation. He currently publishes in the area of forensic linguistics and has acted as a consultant forensic linguist for the New South Wales Police Service. And he's performed that service in resolving issues around extortion and stalking cases. It is now my great pleasure to invite Phil to deliver our occasional address. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Phil Hall.
Deputy Chancellor, members of the faculty, staff, distinguished guests, graduands, families and friends. Graduation is unarguably a momentous occasion for everyone here. Clearly for you all as graduating students, but also for the families and friends who've supported you, and for the hard-working and dedicated staff who've recognised your talent and nurtured you as students to get to this milestone. I could not feel more deeply honoured than I do now, having been invited to be part of this occasion. Since I'm not exactly a household name, I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself and in particular to fill you in on what the corporate biography won't tell you. As a key element of context, I'd also like to declare up front my conflicts of interest. I'm an unabashed fan of Macquarie University, and I have a lot to thank Macquarie University for. I owe a huge debt for the opportunities that were given to me. I'm not an insider to what people refer to as the system. I have only the most rudimentary, possibly dubious qualifications as a role model. My high school education was brief and undistinguished. My maths teacher wrote in my report card, "Philip is my most disappointing student." I struggled to find inspiration in the classroom, and I was the complete teenage cliché, bored and frustrated, until at the age of 15 I had a life-changing musical encounter. At the time, my musical inspiration came from the likes of Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin. I was a child of the 70s. But it was a performance by Graham Bell's Australian jazz band that changed everything for me. This was a bunch of mostly grey and wrinkly old 60-year-olds playing traditional New Orleans jazz, which wasn't exactly my cup of tea at that time. But there was one notable exception. They had a young, long-haired and very talented bass player. Now, I was a would-be bass player myself, and I just had to speak to him after the show so that I could find out where he'd studied in order to develop such remarkable skill and dexterity. His response to me was, "Oh, you don't study music, you just get out there and do it. Play lots of gigs, man." So I went home that evening and said to my parents, "I've gotten on very good authority that I'm wasting my time at school, and the only way to ensure success in my chosen career of music is to leave school now and join a band." My parents must have been close to breaking point because, to my surprise, they offered almost no resistance. My father said, "Okay, son, you can take the rest of the year off, but if you're not a professional musician by the end of the year, you go back to school." So I began a 20-year separation from formal education, during which time I was lucky enough to make a very modest living as a musician. That was, as you'd expect, a lot of fun, but as you'd probably also know, in today's world, it's increasingly unusual to follow just one career path. And at 35, touring musician was not as appealing as it had been at 15, and I figured it might be a good time to reconsider my attitude to education. With this in mind, I set about the task of applying for university courses and quickly realised that I wasn't going to get a lot of mileage from a resume that read, "Some high school, left at 15, or indeed, Philip is my most disappointing student." Which brings us to my relationship with Macquarie University. As I did my preliminary research into study opportunities, Macquarie seemed a little different, more modern, less formal, more flexible. For evidence of this modernity, this difference, you need look no further than the Macquarie University motto. Other universities seemed mired in the past with their deeply traditional mottos in Latin, a language that had had its heyday as a means of daily communication some 2,000 years ago. Macquarie University, founded in the 1960s, wasn't going to have a bar of that. They seemed to be saying, "Oh, you old school universities can keep your Latin mottos. We are the new wave of education. We are going to shake things up. We will have a motto in English." Though to be fair, this English, this leap into modernity, was drawn from the Middle English of Geoffrey Chaucer, as spoken just a mere 600 years ago, very modern. "And gladly would he learn, and gladly teach." So, very modern. There was work still to be done, but you get the picture. Macquarie was always going to be different. In a practical sense, and one very relevant to a candidate with my lack of traditional indicators of potential, Macquarie was different. Macquarie offered what was known as the Jubilee Scheme, a pathway to entry for special cases, what you might call very mature age students. The key feature of this scheme, from my perspective, was that it provided for applicants who lacked more widely accepted entry qualifications, such as attending high school and sitting HSC. And very importantly, it got me through the door. Still, despite having made it in, I had yet to shake off my fairly negative view of education. And to be honest, I wasn't filled with joy at the prospect of years of study. At best, I saw it as a necessary evil. But what I actually found here at Macquarie was a welcoming and encouraging environment in which pretty much anything was possible. For example, in my second semester of study, as my confidence was starting to build, I went to one of my lecturers, who was a well-known Marxist around campus, and I told him as nicely as I could that, the essay topics that he'd set were, cool and all that, but that I really wanted to write about the Cuban education system. As a good socialist, he happily agreed, and even better than that, he told me that if I was going to do this, I might as well write my own essay question as well. Very flexible university. Another thing that Macquarie was renowned for, and I hope still is, was its flexibility and diversity in the subjects you could include in your degree. My degree in linguistics, perhaps predictably, included units in education, sociology, psychology, statistics, but maybe less obviously in biology, medieval literature and physics. Along the way, I found myself energised and inspired by pretty much every single area of study that I came into contact with, even statistics. Now, in some ways, this made it hard to remain focused on my chosen area of linguistics, but it did ensure that I had a broad range of perspectives to take with me into research and then into the workplace beyond. So, the workplace. I'm sure that you're all feeling very excited about reaching today's milestone, but at the same time, many of you will be wondering just what it means when you enter the workplace as newly qualified experts. So at this point, I'd like to switch gears and talk not about my experiences as a student or as a new graduate. Rather, I'd like to touch on my experiences as an employer. Over the course of my 17 years with Appen, we hired a lot of Macquarie graduates across pretty much the full range of disciplines. And in our key area of focus, speech and language technology, Appen's Language Resources Division would today be one of the leading employers of linguists globally. So what were we looking for when we were hiring? Certainly, we look for subject matter expertise. When you get clients like Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft requesting specialised resources such as machine-readable pronunciation dictionaries in Australian English, or Maori, or Arabic, or Icelandic, or Thai, we need talented linguists to lead the way. But that's not the whole story. What we also need to have is problem solvers in the most generic sense. People with a breadth of knowledge and experience, people with exposure to multiple perspectives, possibly even conflicting perspectives, and people with the self-confidence to stare down seemingly insurmountable problems which may be only obliquely related to their individual areas of expertise and study. So what do these challenges look like? Well, in Saudi Arabia, a country where women are not allowed to drive, how do you collect speech data for women drivers? Our clients want that. After you've successfully collected data in a war zone, how do you get it out if there's no commercial flights or freight services? When you've carefully prepared a script to ensure that it will capture phonemic diversity for a language, how do you collect speech data from children who are too young to read the script? And for that matter, how do you find a workable solution for a client that has multi-million-dollar ideas and a 5-figure budget? Well, the capability to address problems of this type, and bear in mind these are all real examples, is not found in the coursework content. It's found in an open mind that's been exposed to the diversity of perspectives and the creative thinking processes that Macquarie University has fostered and promoted since its rebellious inception in the 1960s, and that remains central to the value of a Macquarie degree. I congratulate you on your achievements and wish you well as you embark on the next phase of your lives. And I sincerely hope that 20 years from now, when you reflect upon your time at Macquarie University, it will be with the same sense of gratitude and affection that I feel today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil, for being an important part of today's ceremony. I think you'll agree it's been a wonderful journey for you. I'm glad Macquarie's been part of that wonderful journey and we've inspired you to be creative and rebellious in the things that you've done. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me again in thanking Mr. Phil Hall. As Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring degrees on those who have complied with the university's requirements for such awards. But before I do so, I need to check a few things. Evidently, if I confer a degree upon you and you're not eligible for it, I can't take it off you. So, just answer a couple of questions for me. Did you go to every lecture? Hand in every assignment? Turn up late for class? No? All right, okay. Well, I'm just going to double check. I'm going to call on our Registrar, Miss Gail White, to formally certify your eligibility for the requirements for your awards. Miss White.
Deputy Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Now, would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
That's you. In the name of the Macquarie University Council and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations, graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving them a round of applause.
Please be seated. Deputy Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Human Sciences, and I call on Professor Simon Handley, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Human Sciences, to present the graduates. Professor Handley.
Deputy Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Human Sciences. Our faculty hosts a unique combination of disciplines connected by the common purpose of building an understanding of what it means to be human. Our departments of educational studies, psychology, cognitive science, and linguistics offer innovative and interdisciplinary teaching programs and research strengths in learning, behaviour, mind, and language. We aspire to develop a deeper understanding of the human experience and deliver graduates with highly developed professional and personal skills. One of our core strengths is in psychology and brain sciences, a world-leading discipline in the top 100 of the recent QS Subject World Rankings. We have globally leading expertise across multiple areas, including child development, emotional health, reading, communication, vision, action, and elite performance. Our linguistics department is in the top 4 linguistics departments in Australia and the top 100 in the world. It undertakes research in the fields of hearing, language processing, child language acquisition, applied linguistics, and adult language learning. It is one of the most diverse linguistics departments in the world, teaching across 4 distinct yet interrelated disciplinary areas, namely applied linguistics and TESOL, translation and interpreting studies, clinical audiology, and speech and language pathology. This is integrated with our clinics for speech and hearing, allowing for the integration of educational placements and research-informed clinical interventions, making a difference to people's lives. Our students, researchers, and clinicians are genuinely transforming the lives of individuals, communities, and societies. Deputy Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Human Sciences whom you have admitted to degrees. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with the Bachelor of Psychology honours, Alicia Patricia Portelli. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, Charlie Class. Caitlin Emma Fong. Christian Guinao. Janine Tizon. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Karina Amelia Mustafa Aguilera. Amanda Orr Prince. Sarah Elizabeth Bertong. Nicola Lauren Cannon. Jessica Louise Caulfield. George Anthony Dwehi. Timothy Foy. Rachel Gould. Adam Fenton Halliday. Chelsea Hodder. Louisa May Howard. Farheen Javed. Nicholas Leung. Oscar Maximiliano Lonergan Corti. Stephanie Ma. Lana Louise Mawas. Josephine Julie McGinley. Ngop Quinn Zhao Nguyen. David Peter O'Connor. Smruthi Rao. Rachel Saliba. Erin Marie Shirley. Renee Smith. James Sparnos. Isabella Natalie Swales. Rami Tal. Belinda May Tay. Nicola Voss. Hafsa Wahab. Vivian Yemenian. Louisa Zhang. Constance von Gneisenau. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Chelsea Maria Jeffrey. Anuja Mehta. Vinita Raj. Chloe Maria van der Sande. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Advanced Translation and Interpreting Studies. Juan Felipe Incape Gutierrez. San Young Jin, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Ka Yan Lai. Chung Lin. Di Wu. Deputy Chancellor, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Linguistics, Gloria Christabel Michael. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Linguistics and TESOL. Veronica Nicole Edmilao. T. Feng V. Huyn. Emily Jane Medich. Tan J. Mi. Pham Ngoc Dui Jan. Shi Yung. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Conference Interpreting. Yu Ying Liu. Jiahui Lu. Ziyue Su. Jiahui Wan. Bijie Wang. Junlin Wang. Yasu Wang. Linxiang Wu. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Speech and Language Pathology. Harriet Kathleen Achel. Lilit Amber Sumian. Deborah Ashpole. Iris May Iden. Elisa Baptista. Elisa Bettel. Andrea Buckman. Natalie Catherine Buswell. Lelina Chia. Ursula Domovsky. Naomi Folder. Kelly Jones. Kirsty Heather Jane Knox. Marcella Ho Ching Lau. Jennifer Leong. Rebecca Lee. Phoebe Malmu Setz. Cecily Roper McCowage. Sarah Ashley Melville. Madeline Louise Nendick. Eloise Claire Nolan O'Brien. Jessica Beth O'Sullivan. Stefano Julian Pepe. Michael Edward Rolfe. Alejandra Romano. Johanna Shankalapore. Natalie Trevisan. Marianne Tazanis. Jenny Ching Ha Wong. Ashley Nicole Zarafa. Deputy Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Translation and Interpreting Studies. Darren Michael Ages. Rewardjun Bai. Shujie Chung. Christy Filipich. Jinshi Han. Kiang Soon Moon. Patricia Rodriguez Muyo. Angela Torzinski Azimi. Weiwen Wu. Chongyong Yu. Jiansung Zhang. Hao Chao Zhu. Deputy Chancellor, I present diplomates awarded the postgraduate diploma of Auslan English Interpreting. Amy Blaylock. Kerry Christie. Deputy Chancellor, I present diplomates awarded the Graduate Diploma of Translating and Interpreting. So-Young Choi. Elena Gregory. Kim Moon Jung. Jin Myung Lee. Soo-jung Lee. Sunwoo Lee. Hyo-jung Park. Marcella Van Jager. Hanping Xie. Deputy Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Business and Economics, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Nan Thuy. Deputy Chancellor, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Professional Accounting, Sahiti Reddy Terpusima. Deputy Chancellor, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Global Business, Luca Rees Vignando. Deputy Chancellor, that completes this evening's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Human Sciences.
Deputy Chancellor, I call on Ms Deborah Ashpole, who has graduated this evening with a Master of Speech and Language Pathology, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Ms Ashpole.
Deputy Chancellor, members of the University, fellow graduates and guests. It is an honour to speak this evening on behalf of the students graduating from the Faculty of Human Sciences. Our graduation marks an important stepping stone along our journey of learning. We began our studies for a number of reasons: enthusiasm for wanting to help others and improve their life outcomes, a change of career, following in the footsteps of an incredible role model, just to name a few. But whatever the reasons, we joined with one another to undertake our studies. Together, we supported each other's learning, provided a sounding board when situations were difficult or confusing, shared experiences and resources, and encouraged each other to keep going. The best thing is that the relationships we have developed will last and become our support network as we continue our journey. Thank you to all my fellow students for all of your encouragement and assistance. Returning to university after many years has been stimulating. I learned you are never too old to challenge yourself, never too old to refine your abilities to think outside the box, critically analyse, reflect and advocate. Indeed, if learning is a lifelong journey, I found it important to continually search out and embrace the many opportunities to learn. Thank you to the academic staff at Macquarie for your inspiration, guidance and unrelenting focus on giving us the knowledge and tools to be the best we can in our chosen career. You demanded excellence, set the bar high and challenged us to live up to it. Thank you also to our family and friends. Our success today is shared with you. We wouldn't be here without your support, understanding and acceptance of why we became hermits for the duration of our course. As Socrates said, education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. Our studies have kindled the flame to further explore the many ways we can help others participate in all aspects of life, be they children or adults. Continue asking why, how, and why not, and searching for those answers, for these questions are now the backbone of our learning. Congratulations to all my fellow students on your success today. May your journey of learning be lifelong and rewarding.
Deborah, thank you for your wonderful address on behalf of our graduating class and for reminding us of the wonderful benefits of learning and also for sharing your journey of learning with us at Macquarie. I think you'll agree Deborah did a wonderful job. Please join me again in thanking her for speaking on behalf of our graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, that wonderful voice belongs to Miss Angela Brewer, who graces us with her presence at these ceremonies. It's pretty good, wasn't it? Would you like to hear her again? All you have to do, and roll again, done, take another degree, and then you can turn up. I should say also, I'm very grateful that Angela has come along tonight. Unfortunately, Angela wasn't well last week, and our stand-in when Angela's not here is the Chancellor, and he's tone deaf. So we're very grateful she's here tonight. Could I also take this opportunity to thank our musicians on the organ, Dr. James Forsyth. And on the Chinese traverse flute, Dr. Chai Chang Ning. I did neglect earlier in the evening to pay tribute to Chris Tobin, who did our Welcome to Country. Chris generously performs our Welcome to Country at every one of our graduation ceremonies, so please join me in thanking him. And finally, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the representatives of our alumni community, many of whom come to these ceremonies day in and day out to help make sure these events are a big success. Please join me in thanking them. Graduates, as I can now call you, this ceremony marks the end of one stage of your relationship with Macquarie University, but it's certainly not the end of your association with us. From today on, and for the rest of your lives, you are part of that bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of a network of more than 180,000 Macquarie alumni spanning the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, a program focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep in touch and engage with Macquarie throughout your entire life. And please be sure to come back here to Macquarie to either undertake more study, as I know some of you are, to attend alumni events, use our aquatic or fitness facilities if you're feeling that way inclined, or even, if the mood takes you, to enjoy a picnic by the lake. Graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. I encourage you to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry, to set ambitious goals for yourselves, and to continue the hard work that has already brought you so far. I urge you to always exercise sound judgment and be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those you meet on life's journey. My hope is that as graduates of Macquarie University, you will use what you have learned not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of the whole community. Believe it or not, each and every one of you can change the world, and you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it, because almost everything you do in your homes, in your workplaces and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society, through the decades, indeed through the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life, a great career or a great achievement. And remember, wherever you go, go with all your heart. In all you do, I ask you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. I hope you will also always remember those people who have helped you along the way, many of whom are here with you to celebrate tonight. So to acknowledge them and thank them for it, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. First, I'd like our newest graduates to please stand. Now, I'd like you to place your degrees on the seats behind you so that you have your hands free. I'd like you to turn around and face your family and friends and give them a mighty round of applause. Now, you can turn around now, but don't sit down just yet. Here on the dais are representatives of our academic staff who have supported you on your journey here at Macquarie. Please join me in thanking them. Please be seated just for a couple of minutes.
Deputy Chancellor, please excuse the interruption. But there is one more very special acknowledgement that needs to be made this evening, and I'm pleased to introduce the Vice-Chancellor of Macquarie University, Professor Bruce Doughton, to explain. Vice-Chancellor.
This is off script.
Deputy Chancellor, I do crave your indulgence for just a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, later in June this year, after over 16 years of outstanding service as a member of our University Council, the Deputy Chancellor will be retiring. She has given extraordinary service to this university through dedication of time, intellectual energy and commitment, not just to the life of the Council of the University, the governing body of a very complex, large institution. She has served on most, if not all, of the committees of the Council. She has served as the Chair of the Audit and Risk Committee of the Council, and most recently for an extended term as the Chair of the Finance and Facilities Committee of the Council as well. Universities such as Macquarie University are complex, large institutions with budgets, in our case, over $1 billion a year, 42,000 students, 3,500 staff. I and my colleagues on the executive rely on the governing body of the University Council, for their dedication of pro bono time and energy and intellect. Elizabeth Crouch has given extraordinary service to this university as an alumna of the university. This is, in fact, the final graduation at which she will preside. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, colleagues, I invite you to join me in thanking the Deputy Chancellor for her extraordinary service.
Well, that was very unexpected, and thank you very much. It was, I wasn't going to tear up in relation to this, but it's been a great honour to serve this university. It is my home university. It's been a great privilege to graduate many students over the years, and more importantly to see them go on to such wonderful careers, which I know many of you are already embarking on those careers. So thank you again. I look forward to staying in touch with many of you through our alumni network. After all, I'm a member of that, and I wish you every success for the future. So let me do the last bit of the ceremony tonight so that we can all get off and have a celebration. So, ladies and gentlemen, shortly I will have the pleasure of leading the official party out for the last time, and it will be my great honour to invite our newest graduates and their family and friends to join us for refreshments in the Marquee. Graduates, can I wish you the very best for your futures and conclude with the words of an old Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Congratulations, graduates, and good luck.